Ready? Welcome back to Fabrication 101. Thank you guys for tuning in. Before I get into this video, I want to say a couple of things. First off, I hope everybody's doing well, trying to maintain a sense of somewhat normalcy in this crazy time, and stay safe, stay healthy. So the second thing I want to say is thank you guys for helping me get this silly little channel up to 100 subscribers. I made a post on the Fabrication 101 Instagram last week or so. My birthday was coming up. I turned 40 a few weeks ago, or no, last week. And I said it'd be great if we could get this channel to 100 subscribers, and you guys pulled it off, and I want to say thank you so much for that happening. I know it seems like a kind of a silly thing, but at this point in this channel, I think that's kind of a big milestone. So again, thank you. Speaking of birthdays, my younger brother's birthday is coming up. I thought I'd make him a present, a little gift. I've seen these on the internet, I've seen pictures of them on there, and the bottle cages that people like to do. So I bought my brother a bottle of Kool-Aid. He likes to drink some Kool-Aid every now and again, so I bought him a bottle of Kool-Aid. See, it's even strawberry flavored. And I'm gonna make a bottle cage for this thing, but I'm gonna kind of make it a little different. I'm gonna make it a little bit more of a puzzle, because I'm a puzzle guy, and I think that's kind of what makes fabrication so much fun for me. But I want to add a little bit more to this, and for my birthday, my brother gave me, part of some of the things he gave me was a 24 pack of toilet paper, and so I'm going to return the favor. I'm going to add a roll of toilet paper to the top of this bottle cage, and then I'm going to use this big bolt to make it part of the puzzle. Follow along. I hope you guys enjoy this video. We'll start out with making some plates. I need 3 of them to make this puzzle work, and so we'll get started on that. So I need 3 plates, about as big around as this, maybe a little bit bigger so I have some room. I figure about 7 inches, so we'll obviously use something a little different than this, but we'll use this to give myself a rough idea how much space I need, and then we'll get it cut out. So. For my little circle cutting guide here to work, I measured from this hole, which is my pivot point, to the center of this hole, which is where the plasma cutter will go. It's 3.5 inches, and that should give me about a 7-inch circle. So I'm going to make sure I have enough room to get my 7-inch circle here. So here's the edge of my plasma cutter. So if I go there, maybe I can kind of rough that in there. Make sure I have enough room here, which should work. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one there. Get our holes drilled here. Okay, so the way this is going to work is this is my hole here, my center point. So I'm going to put a 1/4 inch nut through there. I'm going to put a washer on it just to give myself a little bit of distance. I'm going to stick it through that. I'm going to bolt it from the back side, not super tight, just enough to keep it from coming loose. And then I got this one just to act as like another handle, because a lot of times circle cutting guides, it's a good idea to have something to help control your rotation as you go around. So that should work. Let's fire up the plasma cutter and see how it goes. Well, they're cut out. Unfortunately, they're a little rougher than I thought they would. This was actually the last one I cut out, and it came out pretty good. I don't know why I'm pretty sure this was the second one, which it's a little rough, but it can still work. I just have to spend a little bit more time cleaning it up than I wanted to. And the first one's not much worse than the second one, so it's become pretty obvious to me that my plasma cutter needs new consumables, a new nozzle and a new electrode inside of it. Unfortunately, the ones I have don't work. I changed them out and they look the same, but with the new ones in there, I couldn't even get it to give me a pilot arc, so I had to go back to the ones that I had in there to begin with, which they do need to be replaced, but they got the job done. I'll just have to spend a little bit more time cleaning it up than I intended to. So the next thing is obviously we'll clean them up a little bit, and then we're gonna have to drill a bunch of holes around the outside, because I'm gonna put some 1/4-inch round bar to create like a cage around the bottle. So now that they're cleaned up, I'm gonna pick the one that's the best or the least bad, and I'm gonna use my centering head on my combination set here. And I'm going to lay out 8 lines, because I'm going to do 16 bars around this to make it, I don't know why I'm doing it, just because I thought it would be a good number. Not too bad. So I just got to measure in about a 1/2 inch on each side, and then that should give me enough room for my bottle cage. All right. To drill these, I'm gonna put them all together, bolt them together, and we'll get them drilled. So all my holes are drilled. Before I take it apart, I'm actually going to take my cutoff wheel or something and put a little groove in one edge, just so that when I go to put it back together, it should make lining the holes up a little bit easier, I hope. All right, so here's how this thing is gonna work. Our bottle of special Kool-Aid goes right here in the middle. Toilet paper goes on top. This is just a spacer because I don't want my bolt falling down inside the toilet paper. Then the big bolt goes in, and then this is our intermediate plate. Ow, it just poked me. So it goes on, and I got my grooves on here, so I need to line those up like this somewhat. And then all these rods are gonna go in and line up. So we'll put all these in real quick. All right, so all those are in at that pre-level. Then this plate, which all the holes are drilled out a little bit bigger, it goes up here, and it should line up about like this as well. Oh, that's why. I was off. All right. Then the nut's gonna go on, and now you're probably wondering what's gonna make this tricky. Here's the idea, is that I'm going to weld half of the bars to the bottom plate, and the other half are gonna go to this intermediate plate, and then I'm gonna weld this nut around on top of the bolt. And so the idea is that he is going to have to think that maybe he has to, maybe there's a way he can get it apart, maybe there isn't, but he's gonna, the idea is that he's gonna think he has to get rid of all the toilet paper before he can get the bolt out. But that may not be the solution. So we'll get more into that once I get it all tacked up, but I think I gotta figure out a spacer in here because I definitely don't want to be welding around this toilet paper. So half of it is ready to be tacked up, and to keep me from hopefully messing up and tacking the wrong ones, I've only put the half in that go to the bottom, and that's all I'm going to tack right now, and then I'll put the rest together, and then we'll get it done. We'll see. Hopefully I don't mess this up. I'm just going to tack these. I'm not going to go crazy with them. All right, I noticed after the first one got tacked, it was a little off kilter, but I think I've got it pretty squared up. I think part of it was my pipe in the middle of my spacer did not have a square end on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack in the top parts real quick, and then hopefully we'll be able to take it apart and put everything back together and then weld the bolt. Hopefully it still comes apart the way it's meant to, the idea. So if I pick up on these ones, it should want to come apart, just like that. So let's put the bottle of Kool-Aid in there and its magic topper. Ouch. Bottle of Kool-Aid. And I don't think I'm going to put a ring around the bottom just because I decided that if he gets this apart and then decides he wants to try and do this to somebody else or give somebody else a similar gift, then he can do that. All right, so bolt, although I don't really want that to fall in there, but I don't want to leave that spacer in there. Let's see. I believe it's like this. Oh, all right, this is going to take me a minute. All right, I think it's all ready to go, and because I still have some, I think, legitimate concerns about setting the toilet paper on fire, I'm gonna TIG weld it on there. I'm gonna tack it first, and then I might actually try and run some silicon bronze around it just to make it look cool. But I don't know how silicon bronze is gonna react to the galvanizing. So let's try it and see what happens. Okay, I did not dip that. And there's a big old glob on there from the galvanizing. Look, it jumps onto the end of the tungsten like that. Well, it's tacked, but I gotta take a minute and clean this now. So turn this just a little bit. That's actually laying in there pretty nice. All right. We'll wire buff that, and it should look really good when it's all done. There you go. What do you guys think? I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe if I can. I don't know if it'll focus in on those or not. Came out pretty good. I do like the way that color came out. So there it is. There's my little brother's birthday present. Happy birthday, Mark. So there is a secret to opening this thing, and if you guys want to know what the secret is, tune in next time to Fabrication 101. And until next time, go build something.